In 2024, a group known as SEAS, the Southeast Alaska Sailing Club, sponsored their biennial sailboat race called the Admiralty Island Rally. With 7 legs in this race, with overnight stops each night and a 2-night stop in Baranof Warm Springs, participants are treated to the best day sailing in Southeast Alaska and scenic stops overnight to anchor in various bays where whales, dulls, porpoises, and sea otters and other wildlife call home. I participated in my Catalina 27 sailboat named Lyric along with a friend who got seasick, so we didn't finish in the running, but we did finish. This is the story of that race. After arriving at Warm Springs Bay, we spent a couple of hours tidying up the boat and watching eagles soar above the amazing waterfall. This is the ramp at Baranof Warm Springs. It's got a full fleet of boats. There's a little bit of space right here. Lyric is kind of towards the end. That's the entrance out there. I'm going to go up the ramp, take the boardwalk, and go to the bathhouse. Right there. Where it is, they have one available right now. My first sailboat race to Baranof Warm Springs was either in 1991 or 92, and at that time the old dock, ramp, and Quonset hut bathhouse were still in place. I had the occasion to soak in the galvanized horse troughs in the Quonset hut bathhouse that year, and then they collapsed the next year, I think from both old age and heavy snowfall. Now, I'm not really certain when they were first built, but it was apparent they'd been in service for a few decades. The new dock and ramp you see here were built in 2016, and I think the new bathhouse was built around 1994 because it was there when I revisited Baranof in 1994. This is a public barbecue area that they have here. It's pretty awesome. So after you come up the boardwalk, just a little bit, here's the bathhouses. Three tubs, 1, 2, 3, that one's occupied. Donations are welcome. Donation box. It'd be so nice if you would make a contribution to help our small community pay for repairs and maintenance to keep the free public baths up and running. Thank you very much. And one of the more recent additions is a bathroom. Of course, this had a shower in it, but it doesn't. And this is so Alaskan. What they do is they just run hot water to flush this thing continuously. This is not a flush toilet. This is how they do it in Baranof Warm Springs. That's cool. And they even provide paper and a sink with hot and cold water. Anyway, cool. Nice little bathroom. And this will be my tub. Big enough for 2 or 3. And what they do is they supply hot water here. Goes into the tube, gets that high, and then it drains down this drain hole. And if you want, you can add cold water to chill it off. So you can regulate. So this is all water out of, this is not municipal water. The hot water comes out of the ground hot. It's plumbed from the hills down to here. It smells like sulfur. And the cold water is creek water, but it's really good water. And then they give you hangers to put stuff on, a seat to change on, and that's rough-hewn lumber. Look at that. That's amazing. And then you get this $1 million view. Going straight, this boardwalk will take you to the natural hot springs and eventually to the lake. Now this used to be the old Baranof General Store, and they had a barista with an espresso machine. Been here a couple of times back then, and it sat empty for a long time, and now it's the home for the Alaska Whale Foundation. Okay, let's go see some cabins. Cabins. I say that loosely. Look at this mansion. Beautiful wind chime. Array of solar panels. Okay, people, let's go green. This place was built in 1920. It was one of the old bathhouses. I just talked to Jim, the owner, and they're completely off-grid. He's got solar for his lights, very efficient refrigerator, and just installed Starlink. So they did, about 10 years ago, they did a lift on the house and put some room down below. Super. 1920, Baranof Warm Springs. Here's the next cabin. This is a nice setup. So they run solar, propane, get their hot water from the hot springs, cold water from the creek. That one several years ago was in disarray. I'm sure it dates back 50, 60 years or so. And then just a few years ago, they revamped the outside and probably the inside as well. There's another one with a big solar array. And I have been in that bathhouse. Here's another one. Again, notice the solar. The old clawfoot tub down here. I love the use of the ropes and buoys for decoration. 2 solar panels. And this one, from what I understand, used to belong to a lady who worked for a TV station in California, who did quite well as an anchor. And this one is either a lindel or a panabode kit house, log house. How's that for beautiful? That's a $2 million view. And speaking of bathhouses, I've been in that one as well. Probably 15 to 18 years ago. Like I said, if the owners aren't home, they used to not mind. That's a really sweet little bathhouse. Like I said, somebody from California did well as a news anchor, and the lady bought the property and had the house built, from what I understand. This right here is a power generation station for this house, and the one behind it. The one behind it is the caretaker, a Baranof who stays here year round. So they generate electricity out of here. I don't know if it's unlocked or not. That's your power generation. Hydroelectric and solar, baby. That's how that's done. And they've got a workshop in here. And then this is where the water comes out. The indigenous Tlingits of southeast Alaska have known about the healing waters of Warm Springs Bay for thousands of years. Westerners only learned of them in the late 1800s. Now in the bay there is a salt chuck, which is a small pond of salt water that fills with seawater at high tide. Casey and I took my dinghy up it at a slack high tide to visit a sacred spot, a bear scratching tree, used by local brown bears to literally scratch their backs. Now to get to the tree, they walk in the same tracks over and over again. You get some sense of how tall these bears are by how high up in the tree the branches are broken. Now, if you go, take some bear spray, make plenty of noise, take only pictures, and leave only footprints.
Are they actually called crowberries then? This low profile?
This one might be. I don't know.
There's the low growing.
Low bush cranberry or
No, I'm thinking like up in the Alpine. There's those other kind of blueberries.
Yeah, that's what they have in northern Quebec.
Oh, okay.
They're about this tall.
What's that?
The little
And the
tree next to it,
blueberries
is
are
that for the baby
a lot
bear?
smaller, but they have this really neat blueberry taste.
Yeah.
Wild blueberries.
Well, on Denali is on flat. They're just little.
More video too. Bear tracks, Casey. That's how high up they scratch. I'm 6'4". Their heads broken off those limbs. I think there's bear hair right there. Bear hair.
Well, you can see here too, I think, where they scratch their nails to sharpen them on their eye.
You think? Oh yeah.
There's all 5 of them, they're all over.
This is a trail. Bear track, bear track, bear track.
Do a video of.
What's that?
Very beautiful boat.
Not shown here is that on the last night, the 4 boats in our fleet put on a killer potluck. And everyone agreed that Rick Edwards' lamb kebabs with that special sauce were otherworldly good. That's it for Voyage 2, and I hope that you enjoyed the extended look at Baranof Warm Springs. I didn't show the natural hot springs or the lake because, with a sick crew member, in effect, I single-handed the boat from Juneau to Baranof and was just tired. Good thing I got some rest. In the next video, we tackle the leg from Warm Springs Bay to Pavlov Harbor, from Pavlov to Swanson Harbor, Swanson to Auk Bay, and the final leg from Auk Bay to my home port in Harris Harbor. Hey, thank you for being good crew and coming aboard for Voyage 2 of the Admiralty Island Rally. Always bear in mind the words of the Roman statesman and satirist Seneca the Younger that, if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable.